Good evening, afternoon, or night. I'm Arwan May. Tonight on a special edition of the Emberlight Report, betrayal, deception, and the downfall of two of the most volatile figures in recent memory. They were once respected, then feared, now erased. This is the story of Flees and Musashi's final downfall. It began as most betrayals do, quietly. Flees, the founder of BTY, extended an offer of passage to a man named Rem, ostensibly to aid in silencing the ever-agitating Colocolo. But while the plan was spoken in one direction, Rem's blades turned elsewhere. In the dead of night, he struck EQL's commander, Shannon, driven by a false rumor whispered from Flees himself. Shannon was blindsided by the assault. According to her, she had no active part in the distant conflicts that supposedly sparked the attack. "I just do my dailies," she said, baffled at being dragged into someone else's mess. At the time of the hit, she claimed she had been casually drinking a beer, completely unaware of the storm headed her way. The rumor that led to Rem's assault was traced directly back to Flees, and it wasn't long before the rest of the pieces began to fall. Then came the message, short, cryptic.
My farewell, BTY. I went rogue.
A parting shot scrawled like graffiti in the mud. Soon after, Flees changed his name to the Dictator. He turned on his former ally, Colocolo, a man whose mouth had been writing checks his alliance couldn't cash, and struck both him and Tobzilla of EQL in rapid succession. Flees knew full well this would shatter the peace pact, but silencing Colocolo in his mind was worth the cost. BTY responded swiftly, stripping him of rank and casting him out. Not even a farewell feast, just a boot to the back and a banishment stamp on his legacy. But the story didn't end there. In a final act of defiance, Flees extended an invitation to the one man whose reputation managed to rot more thoroughly than his own. Sin Proper's former leader and bargain bin anime villain, Musashi. Yes, that's right. The man with all the charisma of a wet sock and the loyalty of a stray possum rat joined Flees in what they likely believed was a masterstroke. The result? A two-man meltdown. Less of an alliance, more of a final cry for relevance. Musashi entered EQL Zone 2 territory and promptly drew attention to himself by launching attacks, despite Oak having made it abundantly clear that any dropped bubble would be met with fire. And fire he received. Oak and Balu struck fast. Musashi's legendary fight was nothing more than a panic teleportation tour of Zone 2, zigzagging from tile to tile like a mouse in a maze. No retaliation, no rallies, just ports and prayers. He was zeroed shortly after. Flees, meanwhile, fared no better. He attempted no grandstand, no act of resistance. When the combined might of Oak and Balu arrived, he ported out with barely 3,000 troops left, the rest of his forces reduced to ash. In the aftermath, the world exhaled. Colocolo, whose mouth arguably set these events in motion, was expelled from EQL, only to be scooped up by SKOL. Whether that's a promotion or a punishment remains to be seen. Oak, speaking on the matter, left no ambiguity. He said the decision to wipe Musashi was easy, that the entire world hated him. Flees, he admitted, was a harder call. But when Flees warned Musashi that his bubble was down, even after Oak had made it clear he would burn him, that was the final straw. He described Musashi's so-called fight as a joke, nothing more than frantic porting with no real defense. Flees, he said, didn't even try. According to Oak, both of them had talked plenty in world chat, but none of it could be trusted. If they returned, so be it. But their silence, he said, was a welcome change. When asked how he felt seeing both of them zeroed, Oak didn't hesitate. He said it felt great. That Flees had abused his power as R5, and Musashi was a manipulator and a liar. In his words, this was the right call, and he stood by it. The world, he said, was better off. So there you have it. Two disgraced names reduced to rubble, and the world that for now enjoys a little more quiet. This concludes this edition of the Emberlight Report. This is Arwan May, signing off.